Watch Nancy Pelosi infuriates liberals with admission that's making Trump smile by Dan Lindsay, Politics U.S. News for MadWorldNews.com. California Democrat Nancy Pelosi has just infuriated liberals with a shocking admission that likely has President Donald Trump smiling from ear to ear. You don't want to miss this. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi has been criticizing President Trump and the corporations who gave American workers bonuses after Trump's tax cuts were announced. After bashing the president for overhauling our outdated tax code, Pelosi came up with the term crumbs to describe the monetary benefits passed down to thousands of households throughout the country. Now that Pelosi has been put through the grinder of public ridicule for her crumbs comment, she's changing her tune, and all of a sudden she's admitting that she is in favor of seeing people get bonuses or pay raises. Of course, Pelosi stopped short of praising Trump for his efforts to make those bonuses a reality, but her flip-flopping just goes to show however even someone who has lost their mind can come to understand how great our president is. According to Fox News, Pelosi sent out a tweet on Twitter on Thursday, March 8, 2018, indicating she had crumbled under the pressure from politicians on both sides of the aisle. Certainly, we are thankful whenever workers get bonuses, but it is incredibly telling that companies, by and large, chose to give out one-time bonuses and not long-term raises, Pelosi wrote. So she's getting back at him like that. Certainly, we are thankful whenever workers get bonuses. Yeah, but why not be long-term, right? So yeah, whether this was short-term, one-time, whatever. What did the Democrats ever do for the people, right? Do they have anything to show for it? In addition, Pelosi told reporters on Thursday, certainly we love it. But when people get bonuses and they get a raise, this is a far cry from her original statement calling the bonuses crumbs. Pelosi went on to add her idiotic opinion that the tax cuts were done only for rich Americans and corporations. The choice was made for corporate America and the top 1% of our society at the expense of working families. Something's wrong with this picture, she alleged. Of course, there had to be a negative addition to her statement about bonuses being a good thing. Pelosi appears to walk back on a crumbs comment.
This is March Madness. It's March Madness. As I've said before, there's a dark cloud hanging over the Capitol, and it's called the GOP tax scam. The GOP tax scam adding over $2 trillion to the national debt. So 83% of the benefits go to the top 1%. 86 million middle-class families will be paying more taxes under the provisions of this bill. $1.5 trillion tax break for corporations, and further benefits to them to create jobs overseas at the expense of creating jobs in the U.S. Morgan Stanley analysts estimated that 43% of the corporate tax savings would go to buybacks and dividends, and nearly 19% would help pay for mergers and acquisitions. Just 13% would go to bonuses and raises. As USA Today editorial board said, this is a tiny portion of the windfall. And the fact that they gave out one-time bonuses rather than permanent raises was telling. Even Goldman Sachs CEO Lloyd Blankfein called the bonuses symbolic and not a significant thing. Certainly we love when people get a bonus and if they get a raise. But if it's so small in comparison, if the choice was made for corporate America and the top 1% in our society at the expense of working families, something's wrong with this picture.
Well, let's face it, Pelosi is losing her mind, and it's time for her to end her career and make room for someone with a sharp intellect and better moral fiber. According to Axios, key Democrats disagreed with Pelosi and her attacks on the bonuses and raises. One of those who split with Pelosi over the matter was the deranged Democratic National Committee Deputy Chairman, Keith Ellison. While Ellison did say that the lion's share of the gains go to the very wealthiest people, he also criticized Pelosi's position, saying, "I would not describe it as crumbs," Ellison added. "The income inequality is so bad that if you could pick up 1,000 or 900 bucks, maybe it helps." For good measure, Ellison added a negative aspect to his statement when he continued saying, "But it's incredibly inequitable and it's going to cause long-term measured problems," according to Business Insider. Perhaps Ellison realized he was on the brink of complimenting Trump and needed to back off a little. Regardless, he was just one of several top Democrats to break from Pelosi on her crumbs comment. In my opinion, Democrats have done themselves and their voting base a huge disservice with their over-the-top behavior to resist Trump, and they are realizing it a little too late. I think Pelosi's flip-flopping on the tax cuts and bonuses is just another reason her constituents should stop voting for her. The reality here is that Pelosi doesn't like it when Americans are doing better because it negates the need for her style of politics. Democrats love keeping people in situations where they need government assistance because they feel it makes them more likely to vote in their favor. Sadly, that has become a reality in many parts of our country where career politicians like Nancy Pelosi have made a fortune at the expense of other people's misery. And I agree with that. That's how they keep their voter base, by keeping them in need, constant need. And look what they did to DACA. They tried to screw Trump on, and they wound up screwing the DACA people, you see? And Trump was actually very, very fair on it. You know, he said put the wall up, and he would have allowed 1.8 million with just a cut in the chain migration and the lottery plan there. I wouldn't have even backed down as much as Trump did. I thought Trump was more than fair. And what did they do? They said no. And so they could care less that they're going to ship these DACA people out. Trump was fairer than the Democrats were to these people. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.